Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Oldson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. When you think of October, what comes to mind? For many of us, it's cozy sweaters, crunchy leaves, and that first sip of something pumpkin spiced. Everywhere you look, it's pumpkin palooza, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin bars, pumpkin ice cream, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin everything. And of course, pumpkin spice lattes and creamers. There's something comforting and nostalgic about those flavors. Cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves all mixed together. But here's the thing. We can celebrate fall without turning it into a month-long food carnival. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-pumpkin. I love the flavor, and I definitely love fall. I've already spent plenty of time at a local pumpkin farm this season. But I've seen how easily autumn can derail women who are working hard to manage their weight, blood sugar, or cholesterol. It's not that one pumpkin latte, one caramel apple, or one pumpkin muffin is the problem. It's the cumulative impact of sweet pumpkin treats. When every coffee, breakfast, and snack turns into a dessert in disguise, it adds up fast. Just look at the fall Starbucks menu, and you'll know what I mean. So today I want to take a closer look at one of those innocent seasonal add-ons, the Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte-inspired creamer that you can buy at the grocery store to use at home. I actually first saw it in my own grocery store this week at the end of an aisle right by the checkout area where you can't miss it. Here's what's in it. Non-fat milk, sugar, heavy cream, buttermilk, vegetable oil, natural flavor, and gel and gum. At first glance, this might not sound too bad, right? Milk, cream, sugar, they're all recognizable. But let's look a little deeper, starting with sugar. It's the second ingredient, which means there's quite a bit of it. In general, if a product has sugar in its top 3 ingredients, you should consider it a dessert. And if you're interested in losing weight, avoiding diabetes, or increasing your health span, I'm sure you're aware that dessert cannot be a nightly or a daily treat. Just 1 tablespoon of this pumpkin spice latte-inspired creamer adds 6 grams of sugar to your coffee. And let's be honest, most people pour more than a tablespoon of creamer into their coffee. Let me translate the grams of sugar into a more familiar metric. 6 grams of sugar is 1.5 teaspoons. In other words, half of your tablespoon of creamer is already straight up sugar. Double it and use 2 tablespoons. Now you're having 3 teaspoons or 1 full tablespoon of sugar in your coffee every day. Yikes! If you use just 1 tablespoon of this seasonal flavor in your morning coffee every morning throughout the month of October, that's like adding the sugar from over a dozen donuts over the course of the month. Let me show you where I got that math. 1 tablespoon equals 6 grams of sugar times 31 days in October. That's 186 grams of sugar. A dozen plain donuts contains 120 grams of sugar. So having 1 single tablespoon of Starbucks pumpkin spice latte-inspired creamer every day in October is equivalent to having more than 1.5 dozen donuts in the month of October. 18 donuts! That's a one-way ticket to diabetes, if you ask me. But that's just the sugar. What else is in there? Vegetable oil. High oleic soybean oil gives that silky mouthfeel to this creamer, but oil isn't something we need in a dairy product. It adds unnecessary calories, and for some people, that can trigger inflammation. How about natural flavors? The name sounds innocent, but this is a lab-created mix of chemicals that mimic pumpkin spice. There's no pumpkin in sight, so don't be fooled by the meaningless word natural in this context. And lastly, gellan gum. This is an ultra-processed additive called an emulsifier that helps thicken the creamer and keep it smooth. While it's not dangerous in small amounts, it's still another ultra-processed ingredient that your grandmother definitely didn't have in her kitchen. So now you know that this Starbucks pumpkin spice latte-inspired creamer is a dessert. It's definitely not a healthy choice to have every day, and I would personally avoid it completely because it falls into that Nova 4 category. Remember, Nova 4 refers to it being an ultra-processed product, which means that it will increase hunger, leading to weight gain. It will mess with your metabolic health, and it will cause all sorts of other health problems over time, including a higher risk for diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and so on. The main thing for us is that it makes it harder to lose or maintain your weight. I'm not here to yuck your yum, so if that spoonful of pumpkin spice creamer brings you joy in the morning, you don't need to feel guilty about that. It's designed to be delicious and exceedingly tempting. Your brain's dopamine circuit is not going to let you forget if you tried it last fall and loved it. I'm simply inviting you to raise your awareness of how these seasonal treats can snowball into a metabolic disaster. Honestly, this stuff is poison. I'd stick to making a pumpkin spice latte or coffee with pumpkin spice creamer a one-time treat this season. Because there's a big difference between having one sweet seasonal coffee as a treat and drinking a dessert every morning for a month or more. What I often recommend is planning your treats intentionally instead of passively falling into habits that don't serve you. Before we talk about ways to allow an occasional planned pumpkin splurge in your fall menu, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. Just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Oldson, physician and founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. Someone recently asked me why she should join the Smart Weight Loss Coaching program since she's already listening to the podcast. Here are 3 strong reasons. Number 1, we make hard work fun. Who says weight loss and maintenance of weight loss has to be tedious? I think getting healthy should be a blast, or at least interesting. Number 2, you'll actually learn way more about weight loss, longevity, and health because we dive deep inside the membership in a way we can't do in these short podcast episodes. And number 3 is that while passive listening is awesome, and I'm glad you're here doing it, nothing compares to engaging. In the Smart Weight Loss Coaching membership, you're no longer passively listening. You're actively taking on challenges to transform your weight with the support of an entire community of like-minded women. So please head over to smartweightlosscoaching.com and register today. And we're back. Let's talk about how to allow an occasional planned pumpkin treat into the season while keeping some balance. If you love pumpkin spice, I'd like to encourage you to curate what kind of pumpkin treat you want to have, how much, how often, where, and with whom. Maybe it's one real pumpkin pie slice at the cafe with a friend, enjoyed slowly. Or maybe you want to make a healthier version of a pumpkin spice latte at home with plain coffee, a touch of milk, a sprinkle of pumpkin pie spice, and a drizzle of maple syrup. Once, not every day, just one time as a treat for you and a friend or with your significant other. You'll still get those cozy sweet fall flavors without the chemical cocktail. And by the way, if sweets aren't your thing, please just substitute whatever you find tempting this time of year that doesn't support your weight and health goals. Having a treat is like adding a little sparkle to your day. But if everything sparkles, nothing stands out as special. If you treat yourself to pumpkin-flavored everything, coffee, muffins, cookies, cereal, ice cream, the specialness fades and your blood sugar never gets a break. High blood sugar means higher insulin levels, and that means weight gain and a higher risk of prediabetes and diabetes. If you happen to have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, as millions of women do, you're living in a state of insulin resistance already, just like those of us with prediabetes. It's critical that you don't fuel that insulin overdrive with daily sweets. Halloween candy might be your version of a sparkle, and that's fine. If you're not a pumpkin spice latte person, but you love Halloween candy, then it's definitely time to make a plan. Don't let Halloween candy happen to you. You are in charge. When are you going to buy Halloween candy? Don't buy it too early. What kind are you going to buy? I love Kit Kats, so I definitely don't buy those. My kids know that if they get a Kit Kat for Halloween, there's a mama tax of one Kit Kat treat each year for each kid. Now that my kids are older, they don't always go out trick-or-treating, and I'm choosing to let that be okay. I'd rather substitute my Kit Kats for a slice of my daughter's homemade apple pie anyway. Maybe she'll make that for Halloween this year instead of going trick-or-treating. One thing I definitely don't do to myself is to buy candy for our trick-or-treaters that's going to create drama for me. Why would I invite the emotional drama of a bag of Kit Kats into my life? I absolutely would not do that to myself, and you don't have to do that either. Give some thought to your Halloween plan. Don't buy your candy too early and then struggle with wanting to eat some before the actual event. Don't buy a candy that makes you feel out of control. If you can't have one and move on, then try something else. If you love Halloween and want that to be your treat, Halloween candy, find a way to curate the amount of candy you have. You're a grown-up and this is not your food carnival. You can dress up and make your home spooky and invite friends over, and you don't have to eat anything orange or pumpkin spiced at all. Let the sparkle come from what you do and who you do it with, not from excessive sweets. Instead, let's aim for balance. Keep your everyday foods nourishing and simple, and save your splurges for moments that feel intentional and meaningful to you. There are plenty of other things we can enjoy in the fall. This time of year, I love acorn and butternut squash, mushroom risotto, root vegetables, and vegetarian chili with lots of beans. All of these things give me a sense that it's fall without a trip to the food carnival. I've never had an apple cider donut, and that is such a popular seasonal treat, at least where I live. So this year, when we went to the pumpkin patch with my 2 kids and our German exchange student and my mom all together, I decided that this was just the special kind of treat that I wanted to curate. So we all sat around at the end of our day at the pumpkin farm, and we each had an apple cider donut and some water, and we hung out and talked and laughed and just had a great time, and that was enough. That felt very curated and intentional to me, and I don't have to feel guilty or bad about eating one donut. I don't want you to feel bad if you plan a special treat for yourself and follow that plan. It's okay to allow a planned treat. Although maybe we can shift our conversation about seasonal celebrations away from the constant food chatter altogether. Fall has so much to offer beyond what's on our plates. Go for a walk in the forest preserve to appreciate the changing leaves. Visit a pumpkin patch. Do a cozy craft night. Watch a spooky Halloween special, or decorate your home with hay bales, pumpkins, gourds, black cats, and scarecrows. These seasonal moments fill us up emotionally, not calorically, and they strengthen the connections that truly make life richer. Okay, it's time for your NBA, your next best action for this week. This time, I'm going to suggest one for you. In fact, I'd love for you to do 2 things this week. Number 1, plan your seasonal treat in advance. Decide what it will be, how much you'll have, when you'll have it, where, and with whom you'll enjoy it. And then savor it and don't beat yourself up afterward, just like I did with my apple cider donut. And number 2, notice your unconscious seasonal daily habits. Are you unintentionally turning your morning coffee into dessert? Try swapping your sweet creamer for something simpler, maybe a splash of actual milk, with a dash of cinnamon or pumpkin spice. When you make those small intentional choices, you get to enjoy fall and stay aligned with your health goals. Because remember, one treat isn't the problem. It's the food carnival that lasts from September through Thanksgiving that makes it so hard to stay on track with weight loss. Let's enjoy the best parts of the season, the colors, the cozy feelings, the people, and leave the chemical pumpkin party on the shelf. You've got this. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.